region is going to be very bad. And again, this brings me back to the point where I say that in this country we have a culture of sitting down, looking at our problems in the face and waiting for it to happen. And then when it happens, then we rush to do something about it.
So yeah, that's the situation. We'll leave it here. That will be for
Ashanti in Focus.
If you are listening to us, we want to hear from you. Those of you who are listening to us at KJTR, Mr. Ame, yesterday, whilst in studio, you were preparing to go and hold a press conference. You should have told us that, well, Alpha,
this is what is happening. You people should be there.
Mr. Maybe you are listening to me. Come and remove your mouth.
I tried calling Mr. Amempo. He didn't answer.
He didn't even answer your call. Our very good friend. See how our friends are treating us.
Oh.
It's not fair. So, yes, we are telling you that you should have given us notice that this was what you were going to do. But, of course, we've gotten the news. And we have reported same. And we hope that authorities will respond to you. In the meantime, I think that yes, their call is justified. But yeah, let's see what the assembly can do. Let's see what the government can do. But I also think that as for the Kroof room, it must be completed as soon as possible. The Kroof room must be completed as soon as possible. That is, if I'm looking at the commercial projects. And then also the KGTF Phase 2 is also very critical. And then for the health project, for the 18th time, I know you can predict what I'm about to say. Afari Military Hospital, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, I will continue to reiterate the point. The people who go to Konfanochi Teaching Hospital to seek medical care are dying. Because of lack of space, because of lack of beds, because of lack of proper care, because the hospital is choked. The numbers are too much for the hospital. We need the completion of the Afari Military Hospital and Tewa Hospital, at least for the time being. And so I am reiterating the point. You may think that it is too early. This is 1 year, 4 months in the administration of the NDC. By the time we realize 2 months is here, we're getting into the 3rd year. By the time you realize election year, not among year. It's very practical. It's very possible. You've seen some before. Fortunately, we have the archives. We have the history to connect to and tell you the fact that it is possible for these projects to be left in the state that they are in, and for a new administration, for an election to be held, for either the same administration to continue or for a new administration to come, and the people will continue to suffer because of the lack of completion of these projects. So we are reminding the people in authority, from the Minister of Health, who spoke yesterday or 2 days ago, no, from the President to the Cabinet, to the Minister of Health, to the Regional Minister, to the Directors of Health, all of the people who matter. Please, I am reminding you for the this one, for the whatever time, that Afari is still not completed. Sewa is still not completed. Please complete them. The President, we have your voice. You promised that you complete these projects. Regional Minister, you appeared at the vetting committee. You gave a categorical promise that these projects will be completed. We are begging you. We are asking you in the name of God and for the protection of the health of our people that complete these projects.
Now, Alpha, you know the sad thing about all of these uncompleted projects is that you make life more difficult for people when you stall these projects, because Krofro Market, KJTR Phase 2, one of the arguments that people make is that the space that you people have taken up, that you are going to construct something better, it used to be occupied by people.
Yeah.
Now you tell them to leave the place because you have plans. You are going to do something beneficial to all of them, and they move out and they give it to you and you stall it. You are putting people's means of survival on hold. That is one of the arguments that the traders in KJTR raised.
It's a very fantastic argument.
Now in Syria, I think the assembly member granted an interview to one of the stations, and then he was saying that where the hospital is, people used to sell there. There used to be farms there.
We cleared.
Yes, and
The
they made
farms.
an agreement with the assembly or the government that the farmers should leave. They should evacuate
For the
because
greater good.
they want to build a hospital.
For all of us.
Now the structure is there,
But it's not operational.
but it's not operational.
It means it's not a hospital, it's just a structure. You understand? And it's something that we need to really... And you see, the other thing is the financial consequence. You know, when you devote an amount to start a project and it stalls, the real value of the money you've invested in it will devalue itself because of the conditions that this project will be exposed to. When, say, you devoted 100 million and it stalls midway and you are coming to continue, you may need more than 100 million to complete that same project because some defects will have been exposed, some problems will have been created, some situations will have come up which will need solutions or will need attendance or we need you to attend to them. So the real money you devoted to this project would then increase because of the fact that you couldn't complete it
Now,
in time.
in some cases, you even have to start all over.
Because there's an example at Konfanochi.
Konfanochi.
Do you understand? So that's the point. That's why we are edging. This monies that we are talking about, it's not your money. It's not as if the money you use to complete the project, it's your pocket money, so to speak. It is our money. Health is important. Konfanochi, I mean, people don't even want to go to me. I can't muster the courage to go to Konfanochi. Not because I don't trust their competence, but I know the practical problems they are going through. I know that if I go, I may be in the queue for like hours. You understand? If there's an emergency, I may have to wait for a very long time to be attended to. And these are the matters. These are the real problems that we are facing in this region. And so please, those that can do something, we are begging you. We have been begging you. We are not supposed to be begging you like this, but you know, we have to beg you in this circumstance to ensure that these projects are done. Because if you don't do them, a lot of people, especially we the vulnerable, are the ones that will suffer.
Anyway, let's go for a quick commercial break. We'll be back.
If good food and good vibes had a home, it would be here at Goldfinger Restaurant. Kickstart your day with our satisfying breakfast options starting at just 45 cedis, served fresh daily. Network, meet, or relax at our corporate hangout on Tuesdays with 15% off everything. Have fun sipping your favorite drink while getting creative at our Sip and Paint on Fridays. Our Saturdays are made for indulgence with steak, wine, and live music. Unwind with soothing live band music and sunset vibes to close the weekend in style at our Sunday buffet. Goldfinger Restaurant is open every day, serving flavor, ambience, and unforgettable moments. Call 0248 672 185 for reservations.
Welcome back. Now, Alpha,
Yes.
let's continue with our conversation and studio. So this morning, we are looking at the recent arrest of some
And
officials.
Janice, I beg you.
Before
this
that.
one day, forgive me. Someone have just sent me a video of the current state of Alfa military hospital. It looks very deserted.
Can you please speak into your microphone for me?
It looks very deserted. It looks it's like it's been overtaken by weeds and what have you. It's a sad reality. If you look at the investment that we're putting into this project and the fact that authorities are not minded to complete them, we'll share it on. Hopefully, we'll share it on our social so that you get to appreciate what we are talking about. It's really a very sad development that we can do this to ourselves. But yes, that's Ghana for you. That's the situation. So hopefully hopefully the new administration will complete these projects.
I hope so. I
They
really
have
hope
to.
so.
They will have to. Because if they don't, then they will have sent us a clear message.
Now
As to
the
their priorities.
points, as you said, they have to complete. But you said
Would they?
earlier that they can touch it, and by the time we realize it's election year,
Right.
you're just hoping
But
that
what we need is not touching.
we
need
to
completion.
finish it.
Yeah. So we will continue to stay on this. And please, if you are a listener, forgive me that every time you tune into Orange, we hammer on this issue. It is because all of us should be interested in it. It is because sickness will not know your status. It doesn't respect your political affiliation. It doesn't respect your financial status. Sometimes when you are in that critical condition, you're not in control of what happens to you. And so the least you need is facilities to be available and for experts to be there to take care of you, regardless of where you belong or whoever you are. And we are making this call because we think that this is going to help all of us. Do you get the point? So, yes, we will continue to make the call. Hopefully one day the call will be responded to in the manner that it should be responded to.
And soon too, soon enough.
Yes.
We'll do it soon. Now, as I was saying this morning, we are looking at the recent arrest of some officials within the New Patriotic Party. Now, I think you do more justice to the introduction of the topic, Alpha.
Yeah, I think for me, I have spoken to some lawyers this morning. If you hear me sounding like a lawyer, it's because I have engaged some lawyers and they have provided me with some education. It may not suffice. It may not be to the level that lawyers will espouse, but just like they say, ignorance of the law is not an excuse. What that means is that you must have a fair knowledge of the law. And regardless of whether or not you're a professional, it is expected of you that you will appreciate the law so that it will guide your steps, correct?
Yes.
So this morning, I have seen that this particular matter is something that is really topical. Abronya was arrested not long ago. Looks as if he has become a usual customer when it comes to these arrests. There are people who are happy anytime he gets arrested and anytime he's treated the way that we've seen him being treated, because for some reason they dislike him. One thing I continue to say is that you must not be happy or sad about something that has occurred to someone on the basis that you dislike the person. There must be a standard that all of us should be guided by, so that regardless of whether or not you like me, the standard when it's applied would determine whether or not I'll be free or I'll be in trouble. Do you understand the point I'm making? So yes, you may have issues with Baba Amando, the guy who was arrested in Sunyani. You may have issues with the way that Abonya conducts himself, with the way that he says his things. But there's a law that's supposed to be the super standard of checking the behavior and the conduct of people. And every attitude should be measured by that standard. Not because I personally dislike someone. Do you understand? And you see, the reason why we need to talk about this is that it's become the modus operandi, in my view, possibly through which political parties retaliate or deal with their opponents. And so, in their view to show you where power lies, in their view to tell you that they are now in power and they are in control, in their quest to in their view, retaliate what you did to them, sometimes they apply some of these tactics. Okay? And it's something that I think we all need to talk about. Now, first of all, based on my conversation with some of the lawyers that I engaged yesterday and early this morning, they asked me that, Alpha, when you come on air, try and talk about the criminal.
The microphone, Alpha.
The try to talk about what should ordinarily constitute a criminal offense. Try to talk about the processes of determining criminal liability. In other words, how do you determine that a person is guilty or answerable to a criminal offense that have been occasioned? And what the courts are supposed to do. What the courts are supposed to do for our people. And the processes itself when it comes to criminal procedure. Let's say you arrest somebody for criminal offense. What does the procedure say? Procedure is the practical process that the person is taking through in order to either be convicted or be acquitted or discharged. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, because they have told me to do that, I want to try. I may not be able to do it the way that they expect me, but I'll try.
Okay.
You understand? The first thing I want us to pay attention to, Janice, is to understand what the Constitution says about what should constitute a crime. Okay, now if you read the Constitution, Article 19, okay, Clause 5 of the Constitution, it says, and I'm trying to quote, I don't know why you're looking at me the way you're looking at me.
I'm interested in what you're about to say.
Okay. It says that a person shall not. I don't like the way they really.
A person shall not.
A person shall not be charged.
Mark, pay attention.
Or held to be guilty of an offense, which is founded on an act or omission, which at the time it took place did not constitute a criminal offense or did not constitute an offense.
Okay.
In other words, before you arrest somebody or before you take the person through the process of criminally trying him,
it must be established that at the time the
what
act
he
happened,
did, at the time that he did it,
was an offense.
Not, let's say, for example. No, please. Let's say, for an example, I more or less punch you this morning, and tomorrow I am arrested for punching you. But then when we look clearly at the law, as at yesterday when I punched you, the punching was not a crime.
Yes.
You cannot say because it is today I've arrested you. I've arrested you today. So because I've arrested you today, it means what you did yesterday, was a crime. No, it has to be a crime as at the time it happened. So that's the first provision I want us, the lawyers want me to allow the people to be aware of. Article 19, Clause 5 of the Constitution. Now, when you go to Article 19, Clause 11, it also says something similar, that a person or no person shall be convicted of a criminal offense unless the offense is well defined and the penalty for it is prescribed in a written law. So the offense.
So unless they have a definition that
this act, and it should connect to that act.
And when you do it, this is what will happen to you.
So these are some of the constitutional provisions that can help us in understanding what the law envisage when it comes to matters of criminal trial and what have you. Now, beyond that, there is another thing that I want us to pay attention to. It's something that the Constitutional Commission, before we had about 4 constitutions. You remember the 1957 Independent Constitution, and then we had the 1960 First Republican Constitution, we had the 1969 Second Republican Constitution, 1979, Third Republican Constitution in 1992, Fourth Republican
Which
Constitution.
is the
So
one
we've
we are
had,
using now.
yes, we've had 4 constitutions. Okay, now, according to the Constitutional Commission that was set up to make proposals for the 1969 Constitution, they said something that I want to read this morning. And this is what they said, quote, "Law courts of Ghana shall be the custodian and bastion of liberty and dignity of Ghanaians, of justice. The independence of judges is an essential prerequisite to the attainment of this objective, and it can be achieved only under certain accepted conditions." What this is trying to say is that the courts are the citadel of justice. The courts are there to protect the rights of the people, to protect the fundamental human rights. And the fundamental human right of people is so important to the extent that when you look at the provisions of the constitutions that have been, that has been made sure that its amendments are quite complex. Okay, the whole chapter 5, which talks about fundamental human rights, okay, it's a provision, or it's a chapter that is not easily amended. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because of how important human right is. Do you appreciate the point? Now, if you read Article 14 as well, it talks about what should happen when a person is arrested. And the person must be told in the language he understands. The person must have access to his lawyers. Having established these basics and this foundation, when you arrest somebody, the Constitution equally says that the person should be processed to court within 48 hours. You understand? Because the courts or the law does not want to infringe upon the rights of the people. The law is reluctant in infringing upon the rights of the people because it sees it as a very, very important aspect that you don't easily infringe upon people's rights. Yeah, there are conditions that allows you to infringe upon their liberties and their rights. For instance, if it is for the purposes of arrest, if it is for the purposes of education, if it is for the purposes of protecting the health of the people and what have you. But the court or the law is reluctant in infringing the rights of the people because it sees it as a very important element to the person's citizenship and the person's whatever. So that is why these provisions are made available in our constitution. Do you understand? Now, in the process itself, let's say you have arrested the person, just like I've said. The law, according to the education I've received from lawyers, says that the person should be processed for court within 48 hours.
Don't keep the person more than 48
Yes,
hours.
there are conditions where you can keep the person, maybe remand, but it must apply to certain situations. Okay, so the other thing that can also happen is that the person can be remanded, just like the guy who has been remanded, Baba Amando. But it must be built on something. So, for instance, maybe you feel that the granting of bail for the person may interfere with the investigation. You know, that's a possibility. Maybe the person will act in a way or in a manner that
Now compromise the trial.
or the person, you are not sure whether he will be available. Because some people, when
They
you
can
grant
run
them
away.
bail, trip or co. So sometimes the remand is applied so that all of these options are taken care of. But you see, my point is, in this country, I've seen a trend, and that is where I'm coming to. That sometimes some of the judges do some of the things we see because in their view and in their understanding of the law, that's the best approach. That's what they are supposed to do. Because they want to, whilst they are protecting the fundamental human right of the people, they are also looking at what will inure to the collective interest of the country. So that it's not everybody you are allowed to just be there because I have a right. No. They want to also ensure that the country is managed in such a way that some people who are just there to create troubles and create problems are dealt with. So that we live harmoniously. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. But there are some of the judges too who may be doing some of the things we see them do because they feel if they don't do it, there will be pressure on them by the government of the day. There are some of the judges who may be doing some of the things we see them do or decisions we see them take because maybe they want to catch the eye of the government. Maybe the government has not even told them to do some of these things. But then they feel that in this context, in Ghana, if a government of the day or a government of the day is interested in a particular case and it comes to your court and you don't give a favorable decision that will make the government of the day happy, there are various ways through which this government can sabotage you. So some of the judges may be aware of these realities and sometimes on the basis of these realities we take certain decisions. Now there's also another thing, which is that some of the judges may be doing it because they have been pressurized to do. I'm not saying that is what is happening, but I'm saying it is a possibility in the context of Ghana. Yes, the judge must be independent. That is the idealistic situation. You know, in law, there are people, I've been told, that there are people who are realist theories. They say that the law is not just what is contained in the statutes, what is contained in the constitution. It is what the judges do. You understand? It is the decisions that the judge will make. That is how you will understand how the law is. Because it is the judge that will interpret the law. It is the judge that will apply the law. So the way that the judges apply the law, for some people who call themselves realists, is how you should see the law, not just what is contained in the statute. So I'm saying, if a judge has seen that a friend of him was sabotaged, was denied some of the privileges that ought to have been given him, was denied some of the opportunities that should have been given him, because for some reason he tried to be independent in dispensing justice, she may consciously or unconsciously be affected by that to take certain decisions that may not be in the interest of justice.
Now, Alfa, you know something I want us to do? I want us to separate the two recent cases, which is Abronye's DC's case and then Baba Amando's case. You know, in Abronye's case, some of the issues that came up in his case was he was publishing falsehood and he was creating fear and panic. Now, when it comes to freedom of speech in this country, we have history. At one point, we had the criminal libel law, which was often used to imprison journalists and members of the opposition for criticizing the government. And then with time, I think somewhere around 2001, we realized that, this is not helpful, so we repealed that law. But there are factors of that still remains, like the Electronic Communications Act, and it still stands that if you publish falsehood, it's a criminal offense. Do you understand? So I think maybe our law should be also looked at a little bit, because what if at the time that I'm speaking, I do not know that the information that I've received is false? Or my sources say that it's true, and I think what I'm saying is true. To what level do we regulate some of these things? And then I think, like you said, the law is the ultimate referral document that we have in this country, that if something goes wrong, if someone does something, you want to check that, is this thing right? You go back to the constitution and check. So I think there are some laws, even as we speak now, that can be twisted in certain circumstances, and then it can still stand. Because if you say that, we've arrested Abronye DC, because he publishes falsehood. He's creating fear and panic. He's doing all of these things. Because what is the measure of what you term as fear and panic? At what point do you say that this is clearly falsehood, so let's arrest the person? So I think maybe some of those things should also be looked at in the case of Abronye DC. And, it's not only him. We've seen it happen to other people that they will say that, falsehood, causing fear and panic. They will invite you to the CID or something. And I don't know. I don't know if the ultimate goal is to ensure that people are complying with the Constitution, or it's just to intimidate people.
So there are two things you said. The fact that there is a law that exists that makes or gives room for the police to effect some of these arrests that we've seen, all right? And you've also said that whether or not these laws ought to be looked at. I think, yes, it was Martin Luther King who said there are just laws and there are unjust laws. He believed that following just laws is, of course, the responsibility of every citizen, but disobeying unjust laws is also the responsibility of citizens. Now, we need to also maybe take a look at the laws and see whether or not, but I also do think that the laws perhaps are seeking to solve a particular problem. We all can argue about that, but I mean, we can do little about that because for now the laws are there. My worry is that when applying the law, there shouldn't be other motives that may not be clear to the people. Do you understand? There should not be motives that may be unclear to the people, and that they may be political motives disguised as justice. That's the point I want. Yes, there's law. We have laws. We have the laws. I've read some of the laws. We have them. But in trying to apply the law, is it also another avenue to use the court as a forum to retaliate, to punish people, to intimidate people, to abuse people? That is why I have a concern if that is what is happening. I'm not saying that is what is happening, but it's because the lawyers tell us that justice must not only be done, it must be seen to be done. How will it be seen to be done? It is based on how we are seeing things. It is based on how things are unfolding. So if Abronye and all the other people that have been arrested, Kojo, Fosu, and all of them, arrested and treated in a particular manner, there's a particular trend, there's a particular strategy. You cannot fault some people who think, this may not just be justice, this may not just be law. There may be politics behind it. There may be some political interest behind it. There may be some political advantage being taken out of it. And I've used my words carefully. I use the word may. You understand? So what the point I'm making is that the justices, as we've seen, I know they are under serious pressure. It's not easy. I don't want to be in their position to be a judge where there's so much pressure, where people are telling you to do so many things. Sometimes you don't personally agree. It may be possible that these things are happening. This is Ghana. I will not try to pretend as if we are in an idealistic state. No. Things happen in this country. We've seen under the previous administration, under this administration, how the courts sometimes can be used. we saw them, and Ghanaians saw them, and they were asking, how is it that people can just go to court and get all kinds of decisions? We've seen things, all of those things happening. So it is possible. It's not supposed to happen, but it can happen. It may be happening. My worry is that the judges should try as much as they can to resist the temptation of using the law to punish people, infringe upon the rights of some people because of political pressure. That's the only thing I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say that, yes, if the law is what you are applying in your mind, this is what the law is supposed to be about. Fair enough. It's the motive I'm looking at. Because even in criminal procedure, as the judges will know, and as I've been told, two elements must come together to make someone, guilty of a crime. the mental aspect and the physical aspect. And the two must concur at the same time for there to be crime. Do you understand? So the point I'm making, on the part of the justices, on the part of the judges, if in the view of the person, that is the law, that is how he understands the law, this is how the law must be applied, then that's good, that's better. I like. But in his head, he should not be thinking, hey, what if I don't do it this way? The pressure, hey, these people, Charlie, the moment those considerations are brought on board, then it is unfair. Do you appreciate the point I'm making?
I do.
So the motive is what I'm looking at. And unfortunately, all of us cannot see in the mind of the judge. But we are reasonable people. And in terms of dispensing justice, you must do things that the reasonable person will see and say, well, this is just. You understand? This is not interfered with some other interest. So I'm saying that we are in this country. We condemned some of these arrests. In fact, the NDC joined us in describing some of these arrests as witch hunting, as abuse of rights, as intimidation of political opponents, all kinds of description. And you will expect that a party that promised reset practically expected to mean that it will shift away from the very things we've been doing and to some extent institutionalized, that we will have a break and do things differently. If the political party that complained when Koku Anyido was arrested, to the extent that when journalists went there, some of the journalists were beaten to the extent that as we speak still, these journalists are still receiving medical care. The NDC supporters are massed there, went there to fight for the right of Koku Anyido because they felt that the justice system was being used to intimidate political opponents. If that same political party comes into office and we are seeing the things we are seeing today, and for some reason they want us to say it is the law that has been applied, we should forget about the other aspect. We should forget about what they said yesterday when it's been done to them. Now they are the ones doing it, or they may be the ones benefiting or enjoying. So let's all keep calm. That is unfair. That is not principled. That is inconsistency. And so that's the point I'm making, that there must be consistency in how we deal with these matters, because it may be somebody today, it can't be you tomorrow. When it is you, what do you expect the people to say? You expect Alfa Ali and Janice Opoku to come and look at a thing and be able to say, well, the right of the people must be protected. It must be reluctantly infringed upon. And in the circumstances, is that what is happening? That is the kind of conversation you expect. If it is against you, I want you to expect the same conversation if it is against somebody you don't like, so that the standard of measuring behavior, conformity, it should not be as and when, who is in the mix. No. And that's why I'm saying that, yes, the judges, I know, they may be, if it is the law they are applying in their view, this is what the law says, fair enough. Nobody will have issues with them. But it must not be because of pressure. It must not be because of the interests of some people. It must not be because it is John Mahama today. It was Nanadu yesterday. Everything that has been said, everything that has been done, it was Nanadu yesterday. Some people enjoyed it. They were happy. You do it to Nanadu. Why? Was he not a human being? Was Nanadu not a Ghanaian? Was he not a citizen of this country? Was he a devil? Is Jemama a saint, an angel? So I'm saying that yes, there may be wrongs. But in application of the law, there must be standard. The law must be predictable. The law must not be unpredictable. So that if it is Mark, I don't know how the law will be applied. If it is Janice, it may be applied differently. No. A reasonable person must be able to predict what the law will do in every circumstance. So the point I'm making in conclusion is that, you see, if indeed what some people are suspecting is what is happening, please, the president, the government should tell the security officers that some of these arrests are completely unnecessary. Or some of these treatments, you can arrest, I mean, fair. Some of these treatments are completely unnecessary. It brings a lot of noise in the country for no reason. That is not what we want at this point in time. Papa Amanto, I mean, who is he? I'm not saying that to belittle, but I'm saying in the context of us running a nation and looking at the greater issues we're dealing with, and to borrow the words of John Mahama, in the list of priorities, is this our priority? I don't think so. So what I'm trying to say is that let us be fair. Let us have standards. Let us be principled. Let us be consistent. If you condemned something yesterday and the same scenario or the same factors are playing out, condemn it. Now you will see the people who were condemning it yesterday,
yeah, they've changed their song,
justifying it today, and the people who were justifying it yesterday condemning it. I don't want to belong to that kind of choir. I can't.
Now you've spoken about the independence of the judiciary. Now I think that ultimately, if the independence of the judiciary is not protected, or if the perception is that the courts cannot function independently, it also affects other state institutions. For instance, like you said, in the cases that we are looking at, people are now saying that the security service in this country has been compromised because they today are being used as tools to fulfill people's political wishes. And so I don't know how we can, one, ensure that the judiciary is independent and that other state institutions are insulated from some of these political gimmicks. Because I don't know, I think as for the politicians, they will do what they do. But how do we get to the point where in doing what they are known to do, it doesn't affect our state institutions such that the public can trust the courts, we can trust the security services, we can trust all of these agencies?
The public trust element you brought into is very critical. See, one of the reasons why some people are fantasizing about other forms of governance or government is because of the lack of trust. I think President Mahama in his swearing-in made the point that he has a duty to let the people of Ghana re-establish trust in this type of governance that we've chosen for ourselves, which is democratic form of government. The more we seek to more or less criminalize speech, for instance, the more people begin to feel that if I dissent or express a dissenting opinion, criticize the government, if I'm seen to be a critic of the government, then hurdles will be put in my way. All things will be done to ensure that I am frustrated, I am punished, I am subjected to ill treatment. You make the people lose confidence in this democratic form of government. And over time, that could spell doom for us. So that point you raised is a very important point. The institutions must be protected. They must do their work with independence. They must do their work professionally, regardless of which political party is in power. If they can't, if the police can't, I trust the judges to be able to do it. Because the judges have shown, even under military regimes, that they can be independent. You understand? They can stand, I mean, on matters of principle. So that is what I expect the judges to do. It's not easy. Nobody has said it's easy. Being a judge is one of the most difficult jobs. It's not easy. And to be honest with you, all of us are not finding it easy. The job I'm doing this morning, there are a lot of friends of mine who are not happy with me this morning. Do you understand? There are a lot of people who, when I was condemning or attacking sometimes or criticizing the previous administration, they were happy with me. They used to like me. I was their friend. These days, things have changed. So it's not easy. I'm having to go through that. All of us are not taking it easy, especially if we want to do the right thing. But that's why I've chosen to be a journalist. That's why you've chosen to be a judge. You knew the consequences. You knew the risk. You knew what you need to sacrifice before becoming a judge. And you chose that profession. It means that you will sometimes be misunderstood. But if in your head, in your mind of mind, you know that this is according to the law, you must have some comfort. That is the point that I want to make.
Okay, so now let me read some messages. Grace from Tafu says a party activist was arrested in Sunyani for a minor offense. He was handcuffed and driven to Accra, granted bail at the police station, asked to appear before a circuit court the next day. He appeared and he was remanded for 2 weeks. Doesn't make sense. Some judges create a bad name for the judiciary, and I don't like it. That is from Grace Tafo. So I think right about now, our friends can join us by calling us on 054-102-2318, 054-102-2318. Call us now and join the conversation in studio. You can send us a WhatsApp message on 059-393-2993, 059-393-2993. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, Janice.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Very well. This is Kosu Bedu from Asaparamampo.
Good morning, Mr. Bedu.
Good morning. You see, Alfa, NDC have not shifted away from race setting, not at all. And we are sticking to race. And that is why you remember some cases have been leveled against Charlotte, the EC, and so some other people. And yet, Mama said, no, they don't have any problem. I mean, let them stay. This is race setting, unlike before. During it was not like that. You know, we have a situation where President Kufuor just went ahead. Look, Dominic case, for instance, the way I come to remember, Dominic case, for instance, the SOs took it to court, and all that the court said was that, no, removing Dominic was wrong. If it is unconstitutional, if it is unconstitutional, it means the president has acted unconstitutionally, of which supposed to come with punishment. Because you take an oath and say that you will not go against the Constitution. And if you go against the Constitution, the punishment might be fall on you. But he went scot-free. Is that lawful? Now, come to the Aboye and the Amando that you mentioned. You have not told us what were the errors, what were their crimes. But you have gone ahead to say that this and that they are doing is not good and all that. We all agree that, I mean, they shouldn't do anything to infringe the right of any individual, anybody. Now, you see, this is why the law reform, we must all uphold the law reform that NDC has actually made into our constitution, of which we must allow everybody, if we have a chance, everybody to know at least a bit about the law. You understand? And it shouldn't be restricted to only particular people, of which in those days it is only more color, so that let us all get understanding of a bit of the law. Now, you come to, you see, if you know a bit of the law, then you know that some cases can be, some people can form a defamation suit against you. So you will not go contrary to what will put you into trouble. You will not malign people because you know that defamation case can be made against you and you will be in big trouble. And it is some of these things that you're supposed to know. You see, we all say that the law is in the bosom of the judge. Is that not it? So only one person. It is in his hand. And it is only one person who's supposed to determine that. Because at the day, you know, the charges, some of the charges were unbearable until Martin Pebu went to court and said, all charges must be bearable. And today, as I'm speaking with you, all charges are bearable. And then you see that they brought some cross here at the discretion of the judge.
Okay, Mr. Bedu.
It is bearable at the discretion of. I've not even finished. You see, so if you say it's at the discretion of the judge, it means it is still in the hand of the judge. And so we have to take a look at this one also. And again, you see that our law, all our law,
okay,
is in the
Mr.
hand.
Bedu.
You see?
Mr. Bedu, your
I'll come back. Why you are saying that? Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. 054 102 054 102 or you can send us a WhatsApp message on 059 Hello, good morning. Hello. Please call us again 054 102 Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Please, your name and where you're calling from. Okay.
Yo, maminchia oniafa na minchia wadeno kwa pia amansa kuka na minchia chama usu bempa amwa ukuna kansi bozu churifi na kakra metase mekana no pe ni se obiara ni ha oboro mraso e Ghana ha nti me de MPP ni na de meka ne se to obie bibia na se eze Ghana mra ne ni dia fine se family kwa so ne ni di ba idea sisi ameka se the mama idea and this we can hear any say kaso young people and this for me na some kaso so this for an kasa o ta amra donko di party na kotumu o ti aze this time Ghana for we bibia no more di do about to no ma kire o ti aze na send this kwa ni musa say the mama de woko sa tam Ghana akwa ye mela bia wo say obi di president o free so 10 years as ambo e boni etimi dina kudina court ba mo na mo ba ka kire no ti aze by Islam Obeke no NPP ba also no mpanche o rese ko fi demand center me ko so ne ya ti yetimi ko chi obi na na knowledge certificate ni na yesa sa ne ma die nyina wa ye ka pa nyina sa o ne ba ise ibi mu ba on ta ko hu private account o ko private na kwabra ni di na chi te so ko woro no nje no we so kai yo is that a case ne dog case nyina be no so ka mra ho mra kwa kura mo pa nko dina court bi akura mo ko bi se bi wa for man sikataku ana asempoa baba man di se judge na extra prosecutor adwuma se wuja na obuhu na bi I don't know the man gwaze o ti aze na me dia me kan se this ball muntu president fo mo ntrufu a sana wo tan sabon ni witato na bibi baswa the same thing yeso be ye aye yeso be ye muntu bi se de o ye no nka bi ebi o mine sika na obi fa bi ade anya ebi mine yen so so oti asa so na American nka sem bi no e boni a yen tino but yen fa mra kwa so so na American no medaze.
Okay, thank you too for calling 05410223180 05410223180 or send us a WhatsApp message on 0593932993. Hello, good morning. Hello, Kobe.
Yeah, Jane. Good morning.
Good morning, Kobe.
Yeah, Alfa Mike. But me say Ghana land no one is above the law. But Ninka and the Afro Mike kind to be a yani si papa no play attitude life. But yani womb so say Ghana mrano, yes mrano. We get there. Be die we say ya actually tiama so we see a bill and so no say judges no udu o say me di me own power say me jeli wana me di me own power say me ye die me pe be me yesa emrano buku no me enton kuno so utimi ka say me di me own power jeli we ana me di me own power me money be sometimes I am and sound on because any moon frigo near say BBA ni wasa. So what dear any was say and penny for no fight money ye Juma. So me catch president say macho no de too much because me say be man be amemo na there no be can opinion out me ka say be say baby and say Intini empeni for yesromu omumaninda for mumayeni omufa mumayeni na enenya collect because ana yeti mamfo no ya jina ni ya jina insisu yenya solution munya minya adwuma.
Okay, Kobe, thank you for joining us. 054102318 054102318. Hello, BY.
Jenny.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to my son Alfa. Yeah. There is. In every rule of law, people must go by the law. So if the arrests are justified, I think it's in line with democratic principles. But sometimes there are certain things that divides imagination. That the way and manner the whole thing is conducted, that is when people will read some political meanings into it. Because sometimes it takes a form of this Rambo style or something. That at least it could be an invitation. And if the person refuses the invitation, then he can be arrested by warrant. So we are in a democratic dispensation. I will appeal to the authorities that they should not make it look as if they are at war. Because the person is not proven guilty until proven guilty by competent court of jurisdiction. You are picking somebody based on suspicion or accusation. So you should not make it look as if the person has already been punished by the law courts. And people are saying that there will be a payback or something. That's not the way to go. If anybody has not committed any crime, there is no law in this country that will give anybody the authority to go and effect any arrest on anybody. But we also want people to understand that if this is the way to fight the devil corruption in this country, it must be done and done well. Thank you very much.
All right, BY, thank you too. 05410222318, 05410222318. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Janice.
Mm-hmm.
From Kwame Benya.
Okay, Mr. Benya.
Anopai Alfa can come baby actually ya. And on one kasa meeting so me ne okan asem e fa. Be the mechanic say the Alfa kan nyina no. E fa baby mene ne yaje fa baby nso mene ne nyaje. Because na some of kabisi nyina no isi mi say as aban no echichi MPP4. But mo program na nka mo bo omo abronye ne other person na ya chi omo no. Ntembe no and then no mo kan ye ntibi. Ntisi ano say ya chi omo because of some MPP4 dia wrong. Nemu eno so nkire say so bi kan asem na ye bone a yentimi nche no si jai Ghana we share MPP ni ndisi sa menyi ni say sisi a MPP ni bi e be chi obeye wrong be chi ni bia MPP ni be ba bo te be ka say why ade anyi nti sisi chi no they will support him. It is a no be ton line say MPP ni be chi obeye wrong bi e be chi ni bia no which hunting na any o man si yentimi mu nti anka nsama nkofo we abronye kae eni ye nia no mo chi na kae no anka bobbo me nyina ye tie bi ni nyina ehunu se nsa ansem no so mo ka na because asem afa nsem o kan nyina no so no man ti se saafo no otu omofo wan ka bibia amfa ho ye nu time ni bi omo akanti a ya che omo nti anka bobbo anum sem ni bi kire ye e fata se sansem ye kan radio so ana fata se ye ka sansem kire saafo na na tem fata awase ye che omo no mo koyi omo no se fata so dia na che se mra no mo kodu koto amra no so be gya omo be ye gya no sa se di obi abeka bia se si o program na we se me yusu why de bi se si a obeka teme oba ana obeka kire me se ma men ka sa asem no radio no so enti se mra se eni kwase ye kaka se bia o radio so ana ye ka se before bi ho no bi ka ni ye kwache ni ye beka se because of so ye MPP ni ntino so kan bibia eni kwase ye fi ne dia na ni so ma no ye ntumi mu because judgment bi ye be ba afa political parties ni mi no de be kwa kuba ni bia no de ya ne nkofo be kasetia nti say ya nya independent ni ya je say we NDC ni se NDC na power say o MPP ni ka se bi enye ne ye chena ni ye de be kwa say which antenna any o man no ye ntumi mu na da se
Mr. Brenya answer that say 05410222318 05410222318. Hello, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Techi.
Good morning. Good morning, Dennis. What is that?
Me I do more, Mr. Techi. What's way?
Kaja Basamichiano.
Okay.
Dennis, your cousin is a question of your brother.
Stabbing
I don't bring out your cousin could see me free. Or see, after more to go for the Casa. Don't want some kind. After say, and normally, and before New Year now. And this work I could want to you, Mono. Omukase no, and it's just after Academy. No man, no maybe I hear you. Grandma, also in Malantare, what I bring a guava could account. Yes, you see a quiet foot to say, we say, what is the Butukachi? Just have done, President Mama, gay. Check, come on, could want was. Baumia, Omudia, Baumia, this is what does Baumia, Turano, and the Kufado, Omu, Yankan, Obiancado, Yanko, Minia. Generally, and this is generally, I said, a Kupa, Yakupo, the show there. Here, a Kupado Fukre, Uncle Trishi. That Kupado won't cook about my young Watero. No, obey, are you gay at somebody? Obey, I'm done. I can't tell you, who shows us a gay. Yeah, the account for some now can offer not me issue. Almost fight here, Kufuadua, we MVP in the MVP about was what? Wouldn't you gun me? Wouldn't you gun me? Mama, a buyer would do 1.5 years. Ninia, Ghana Japadina, bad good deposit of water. Yes, Mama. Sankopa mine, as you have him, Mama. Gamma, as you buy him, Mama. A quick Kufu back on your politician. Or Koto Hotel, that was Lebanese, was it then to Kotupai, and then this one Mama to get the Kufuba, a Koto Hotel. For example, select what to know, so on what to call what you think of send me what per day, you know. And more and you don't catch I wouldn't go for any end this was that gentle MVP. So, after MVP, we have people, want people, we have people, now Casa, and now we be on my own, and this is what the Muba, animals found. 2 less good, 4 less bad, 1 less good, 2 less. Omunas we anymore. We nipa e can afford be. And the some more ya dia nyamuka chomu.
Okay, Mr. Teji.
Mr. Mr. Bedu kasa ya. So we man you we. That did not try hono. That did not police one say omu hia no. Am do ko remind. That did say was send this atade and two said was baby. Me dey be ko remind. Jenny,
okay, Mr. Techi. Thank you. I think we can do just 2 more calls. 05410223180. 05410223180. Let me read this WhatsApp message. Good morning, Pakwasi. Pakwasi says, good morning to everyone doing the listening, especially Sister Ajwa. Please tell my brother to calm down. Our leaders, we don't have to mind them. They are arrogant. They only want to come in power after that. That is okay for them and their party. Thank you for reading. Thank you for sending in your message to Pakwasi. Hello, good morning.
Again, good morning to Mr. Teki. Good morning to Mr. Teki anyway. You see, again, a good lawyer is the one who will tell you that the paper that you are holding is not just a paper, but it's a pen. And can persuade you to be convinced that it is a pen. You see, the law itself is not a problem, but those who interpret it, the judges and the lawyers, they all interpret it.
Okay, Mr. Bedu. Mr. Bedu, please let someone else call this morning. 05410223180. 05410223180. One more call and then we will wrap up on this conversation. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
This is your name and where you're calling from?
Good something. I'm calling from Bakwa.
Okay.
The person can say, "The assembly na Ghana, I didn't see that." Said they call our call and Mr. Techibe. The assembly na now the danko for the time. NDC communicators and NDC. The so many ministers near the input President Mama Nampu. Fre na na do dankwa wanya na do dankwa kwa funku on from atim mafia yini nyina atimfo nyina no o kaseti awo mu iti ase nso yetena akuri mu obi se akufa do nkwa furu pri na pri no nkwa class no awradi nkunuma no so tena obi ankwachi no iti ase edi azdi na esi gen sen man kan fa akufa do ne baumia ya di preku to na nsaso kremoni we preku e halam we ge atoto na no onu na pu akufa do ma select ni pa be 4 yeah ati nto nyina igi iti ase bi ankoso.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. I think we will go for a quick commercial break when we come back. Before the break, a birthday wish.
This birthday wish from a brother of mine, Michael. And he says that a very happy birthday to a wonderful madam of mine and staff of Konfanochi Teaching Hospital, Madam Doris Barney. And he said, keep enjoying God's favor and glory all your days. Blessings, madam. And this is coming in from Michael. And he's wishing you a special happy birthday. Make sure to enjoy yourself so that this day will be very memorable. So, yes, Janice, you can go for the break.
The break, okay. And so let's take this break. When we come back, Alpha will continue with the conversations in studio.
Go day, say a party, mini me a chomo, chilling with friends, mini me a chomo, take chuck your hunger, mini me a chomo, break time please, mini me a chomo, mini me a chomo, mini me a chomo, mini me a chomo, come and taste the fun, mini me a chomo, mini me a chomo, mini me a chomo, come and taste the fun. For the laughter, mini mini, mini me a chomo. All the parties, mini mini, mini me a chomo. Let's go dancing, mini mini, mini me a chomo. Taste the fun, mini mini, mini me a chomo.
This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back to the show, and we are now getting into our next conversation. It's 9:01. Don't forget, it's still the Orange Sunrise. If you want to send me a message, you can do so. This morning, let me say good morning to Pakwesi. Pakwesi was here yesterday, and he handed me a very nice package. Pakwesi, I'm grateful. Good morning to you. I believe that you are doing well. Yes, if you want to send me the messages, why not? I'll read the messages for you this morning. Kennedy Minta is already joining us. Hopefully Collins will be joining us later. Kennedy, good morning.
Okay, good morning, Senior. And how are you doing this morning?
I'm good. I hope you're good too.
Oh, if not this unnecessary and unwarranted arrests and not able to fix the economy and doing the right thing, they promise the 133 job that he has failed, and then unnecessary attacks. And before I even start, let me comment you this morning. I heard you at least hitting the nail as the Alfa I used to know in the previous years. I'm happy. It's like, I don't know if you are on track or it's just so I don't know. So
I said good morning to you.
Good morning, my senior brother.
Great. So let's respond the greetings before we
good morning, my senior brother.
So now you can make the comment you want to.
So as I was saying, first, as where I ended, let me pick it from there. I'm very happy to see my brother Alfa back. I don't want to use the word on track, but Alfa back. Let me take off on track. The reason why I'm saying Alfa is back is I listened to Alfa years, and he will hit the nail right on the head, no matter who you are. He will look to your face and tell you the truth. But along the line, it means he I don't know whether he lowered the hammer or whatever. So I'm happy the Poseidon in him is up when he gets on.
I just want to promise you, though, that I don't work based on possibly maybe your standard.
No, I'm not saying.
I work according to what I feel. So this one you've said is not going to make any impact.
No.
Tomorrow I may praise the government.
Oh yes,
I may condemn the government.
If you listen to my submission
depending on the
I said I'm happy to see my senior brother Alpha. I know back. So I don't want to use.
I know what you're cooking, but ever.
What am I cooking?
Indomie,
so,
but ever.
Let me praise you this morning, and then as I said, if there's not the unnecessary and unwarranted arrest, and there's suppression of freedom of speech. I mean, I would say freedom of speech is under attack, and I'm very, very sad this morning. And as we get along, I know, there will be complimenting, or is it complimenting? Just they will be justifying these things. But if you want to move forward as a country, I don't think this is the way to go. But going forward, we'll see what happens.
Let me say good morning to Collins. Collins, good morning.
Good morning.
I believe you're fine.
Very well.
Great. Let's get into the conversation. Let me start with you, Ken. Ken, the arrest of Abonye and Baba Mando, particularly Baba Mando, has been remanded for 2 weeks for posting an image that depicted some ministers, including the president, as enablers, supporters of LGBTQ. Let me hear you in the next 10 minutes.
Alpha, once again, good morning, and let me say a good morning to the incoming regional organizer, Ashanti regional organizer, DKM. That is all. If you want power, those listening to me this morning, I will plead with you that you rally behind DKM, because he will not wait for resources to come, as he did in the previous election. Supported the campaign with 7 pickups, his own money, everything. So DKM is really the man who can occupy the position of Ashanti regional organizer for us to take the mantle and leadership from NDC. Alpha, I'm very sad this morning. And this morning, I'll pray that my brothers in the NDC, yesterday on different platform, right after that, a good friend and a highly ranked person in the NDC called me and said, Ken, you should tone down wherever I go. You see, what I would tell my NDC apparatchiks is that it's rather sad that they are trailing that tangent, or they are going on that tangent. They should know, as my leader said, the things that we cherish melt, and it melts with time. What actually has happened? When we are supposed to give them their own peel, when we are supposed to give NDC their own cup of tea or their own peel, I don't think they will even have the nerves to be on every radio or TV station. You and I know the things that they said in opposition, the things that they said, to the extent that, Alpha, with your permission, we have a whole Sam George calling the president, Nana Addo Dankwa, useless. We had Sami Jemfi calling Nana Addo Dankwa mad and useless. We had Randy Abbey on his morning show calling the MPP and Nana Addo useless on Cocoa issue. We had TV3 Cartoon Network cartoons drawing Martin Amido urinating on Nana Addo. We had a whole page affiliated with NDC drawing nude pictures of Nana Addo. None of these people were arrested. We saw it was part, though they are going overboard, it was part of democracy. And since Nana Addo is a constitutional and human rights lawyer, he terms of that's his freedom of speech. I'm not saying we do not arrest people. Even those that we arrested, we, the MPP, went in and made sure they are being brought out. Let me give you one example. My good friend, wherever I say, I'll mention is the Apia Stadium, was arrested by BNI. Bongo. Nana Addo wrote a letter to BNI telling them they should release him. He doesn't support that unwarranted arrest. What has happened today? Bobby Ansa was arrested. My senior brother, Okatechi, went to the police station, slept in the police station, made sure the next day he was out. What has happened? somebody you claim has posted the picture portraying you to be supporting LGBT. I'm not in for those kind of things. It should be condemned. But you ask yourself, me, I'm not surprised. I heard Mahama telling the whole people, President Mahama, he will kill an ant with a sledgehammer. So for me, the arrest and remand of Amando, the constituency communication officer, is under the auspices of John Dramani Mahama. The reason why I'm saying it, based on his words that he said he will kill an ant with a sledgehammer. Didn't he say that when Kennedy Japan was arrested or charged for treason? We are here today, but I'm telling my NDC brothers, power changes, and power changes. I'm looking into your camera. We will remember the attacks of Howard Kumsen. We will remember the intimidation of Reverend Ntim Fojo. We will remember the arrest of Adenta Kumi. We will remember the arrest of Kofi Fosun Kansa. We will remember the arrest of Baba Amando. We will remember the arrest of Abronje. We will remember the arrest of all our social media guys. We will remember the arrest of all our TikTok guys. And we tell you, the elephant, it doesn't forget. The elephant retaliates. I'm repeating myself. Is this the tangent they are going to go? We will not threaten anybody. They are in power. We pray that they remain in power as they are preempted. But we will baptize them if power changes. We will remember. And as is in the jinx of an elephant, elephant doesn't forget. It retaliates. What happened at court yesterday? A whole judge, Kojo Kusum, who is supposed to play the neutrality position, rather urging the prosecutor, and from my speaker and my senior brother who is a lawyer Bafo, the things and those who were in court, the things that they told us. He said, you have a whole prosecution who is not interested in reminding the accused. But the judge will rather go ahead and be asking leading questions to enable him pass his judgment. You are a law student. What does the Article 30?
I'm not the law student. I'm not the law student.
Alpha, the way I'm saying, you know, this is not. When I'm saying,
you're confusing me for somebody. I'm not.
What does the Article 1960 Criminal Act 30 Criminal Code says? It spells out. Yes, it clears out. It spells out clear procedures why you can deny bail denial, and Act 26 also spells out a clear
29
spells out clear why you can detain somebody. This is not a criminal unless you tell me it's a criminal offense. The judge, the prosecutor himself, the judge asked, won't you need him for your investigation? He said, oh, investigations are going to be done by forensic, and anytime we need him, we will invite him. The judge also now move on to ask, won't you ask, how can a judge be asking somebody to apply?
That's the account from your people.
That is the account from the lawyer.
Yes, from
the lawyer who.
Lawyer Bafo.
But yes.
Okay.
Who was the lawyer for Baba Amando? And he said, anytime we need him, we will invite him. So far as you are doing investigation, you'll be remanded for 2 weeks. No problem. No problem. I'm always fortified, and I'm happy. These things make us strong. And that's why we are telling them, unless the good people like you don't give us platform. But when you give us platform, they should be ready to arrest some of us in 2027. We will give them their own dosage. I tell you. And we are fortified by the jinx in the elephant. It doesn't forget. It retaliates. The things that NDC said in opposition, the kind of cartoons they drew, the things that their paid Kevin Taylor said, and when he came, you people gave national security escort. We have learned. I'm always also fortified by the good books of O'Neill. Animal Farm. 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. But in our case, we will make sure 2 legs are better than 4 legs. I tell you, Alpha.
Okay.
This shouldn't continue. NDC no did worse. I told Sammy Jemfi said Nanado is smart. It's on video. Did you even hear he was even attacked? Insulting the whole president. If you, I can show you. They are all here. Unless you want to say you did not hear. And even to the state, and Sam George, oh, I just want to be calm. Sam George even insulted and said he is a kid. Somebody who his lifestyle, if your parents who born you were supposed to be the security guards, you'll be happy. We have journalists who insulted Nanado. You know, people even cursing him. But what happened? Nanado is a constitutional lawyer. He never uttered a word. Even to the extent that when the people are arrested, he wrote a letter. Tell me it's a lie. Fact check. When Apia Stadium was arrested, he wrote to BNI. He is in support of this unwarranted arrest. Somebody, the things that NDC did in opposition, the things you people said, the wheel of justice grinds slowly.
Okay.
And I'm telling them, it will pains me that my good friend, maybe when we come to power 2028, he'll just call, Ken, talk to your people. And when good friends like him calls, your hands are tight. But we'll make sure, we'll tell them, I'm repeating myself, we will remember the intimidation of Reverend Tim Fojo. He is an MP. We will remember the attacks on Howard Kumsen. We will remember the arrest of Kofi Fosun Kansa. We will remember the arrest of Adenta Kumi. We will remember the arrest of our social media guys. We will remember the arrest of our TikTok guys. And then we will give them their own pill.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me go to Collins. Yeah. Collins, in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, and let me say good morning to my brother. Yesterday, Subin was blessed with General Mosquito. Yeah, he paid us a thank you visit. So we were there yesterday. It was really, really fantastic. We were happy that he came, and he has also energized the base of the people, assuming.
Did he energize the base?
Yes, really.
Yeah,
so
both physically and mentally and financially.
Everything here, just with everything.
It's very important.
At his disposal.
Okay.
So we were happy. We thank him very much for the honor he did to us yesterday. It was late though, but people, kept waiting till he came and deliver whatever he wanted to deliver to us. Let me say a very warm good morning to His Excellency, the President of the Republic, and then to Dr. Frank Amakohene, whose name, when mentioned, a lot of people move helter-skelter. Kinzuba, Kumasi Mayor, is doing pretty well at his office, and we pray that God continue to bless him so that he can do more for the city of Kumasi. You talk about culture of silence, right? I just want to ask, is there any such thing in this country? Are people not feeling, talking freely as they should do? Is that what is happening in this country? I'm asking. Yeah.
Okay, some think so.
Some think.
Yeah, some think, especially political opponents.
That is what they think.
Yes, political opponents are.
I will never in any way support arbitrary use of power on anybody, not even the opposition. No, I don't do that. But what are the issues? What has come up? What happened that caused, the arrest of these people? We are all in this country, or we were all in this country during their time. We saw what happened. He mentioned Apia Stadium and a host of them. The fact is that, it is not always nice for people to say that this thing was done to me at that point in time, and so when I seize power or capture power, I'm also going to do. You see, that is the more reason why some of these things keep happening in this country. I wouldn't want to, wear any political lens in discussing this issue. The reason why I'm doing that is I do not like it at all. You see, anytime there's power change or power flips hands, you see people being transferred left, right, center. Really, really sad.
Yeah.
A man with his family here will be transferred to an unknown place, far away from home, regardless of what happens to the person's family.
Sometimes as a form of punishment.
This has gone on in this country for quite a long, long time. And it is about time we stop doing this. We are all Ghanaians. This is the country that we have. Why is it that people hide behind politics and do a whole lot of, unwholesome things to a brother? Why should it be so? For Abronye DC, I have not gone deep into the issues. All right? He was saying a whole lot of things right now here. I don't know how true these things are, but the fact of the issue is that it is not everybody in this country that has been arrested or who has been arrested. People are talking. I sat here and talked about Odike the other day when he said he was going to support, if any soldier picks a gun, he was going to support and all that. You see, all these words are said in this country and nothing happens to them. But for somebody, I don't know, I am speaking from
Amandu's specific allegation, or the specific allegation leveled against him, is that he has painted or put up a post that depicts the president and some ministers, including some George, as supporters or enablers of LGBTQ. I guess that's his main issue. So
yeah. So what I'm saying is that we should be mindful of whatever we do as a nation, because it's a nation that we are all building. We shouldn't make the country look like it belongs to a section, okay? When the MPP is in power, some people have the power to do whatever they want to do, and the NDC or the other opposition parties or people don't have any chance in doing whatever they want to do. I have always championed the cause that the opposition will always have their say, but the majority will have their way, all right? So if it is like that, fine. But to the extent that we will have to, visit people with police and all that, that one, I am against it totally. And I condemn such things in no uncertain terms. But in everything that we do, we as a people must also be, circumspect. We must know that your freedom or somebody's freedom ends in front of somebody's nose. So we have to be very careful what we do. In as much that we are in opposition doesn't mean that everything, whether needful or not, we should churn it out. So we must also, while we are admonishing that the police should also take steps to, regularize their activities, then we are also telling people who also are arrested to be very careful with the way they conduct themselves. Because if you do things just for, doing sake, or just to win a cheap political point, then it's also, energizes other people to also do certain things which are not right. What I'm saying is that we should not be arresting people arbitrarily. And to Gideon, my brother, it is not always fair to, pay people back in their own coin. That is why we are where we are today. I remember when they were in power, some people were arrested, right? To the extent that somebody, an attorney general, AG, goes to somebody, a witness in a case, and say, help me to do this and I'll help you to do that. You get my point here. These are some of the things that we are doing to destroy ourselves. We don't have to do that. When you go to other democracies, especially the Western ones that we are learning from. That is not how they do their things. If you go contrary to the law deals with you. Nobody will come and support you, as in, what do you call it, solidarity. Solidarity in what? You understand what I'm saying here? If you go contrary to the law should deal with you. But arbitrary use of power is something that I will say it's really bad. We shouldn't entertain. And people should not also harbor bitterness in them that, yes, they are doing this to me, and so one day when I come back, I will also do this. You see, that is where the problem is.
It will not end.
It will not end. It
So
will be cyclical.
keep doing it to each other.
Yes. Imagine like the arbitrary transfers that I spoke about. Oh, it's really bad.
Yeah.
Really, really sad that you know very well that this person is established here. Every member of his family, or almost everything that a person is. I am not saying that we should not transfer people, but some transfers are done. You see, in I don't know how to put it. They are done to punish people.
Yeah, I think I was a witness to a conversation.
Yeah,
there were some people who had come to a place that I was.
Yeah,
I think from the look of things, they were police officers.
Yeah,
and I think they were in charge of giving indication as to who should be transferred to where, etc. So in their communities, support here. Somebody mentioned so many.
What do you
get? Somebody mentioned if our people didn't die when they went there, then they should go there and suffer there.
You see, people voluntarily would want to go to certain places to work, right? If the person comes to you and say, "Oh, I want to be transferred to so and so place," and there is a space for that person, you can easily do that for the person, but not for parochial political reasons. That let us punish him, let us do this to this person, and so on and so forth. It's really, really, really bad. When we came to office, we have heard a lot of our people saying that, "Oh, why is this person still here? He is an MPP person. Why is that person still there? He is an MPP person." You see, the reason being that when they came, they did the same thing. And so our people, feel disappointed that some people are still kept at certain positions. But the question is, when we keep doing this to ourselves, what do we gain?
To what end?
You don't gain anything. Always we recycle hatred, and good hands or quality hands or people with wherewithal to do certain things are pushed over to certain places where they shouldn't be. And it is not fine. Honestly, it is not fine. I am against that stuff.
That kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
That's Collins.
Yeah.
Staying on principle this morning that he's, regardless of where it's happening, how it's happening, is against it. Let me read some of the messages that have been sent through. This one says, "Good morning, Alpha. For some reason, I do not want to mention my name, but I've observed Mr. Boachi for a time now. He seems to really find the difficult option of staying on principle. The reason I'm saying it's difficult is because in today's politics, you are seen as not loyal if sometimes you sway from your political party's point of view. So kudos to him. He did not mention your name because you don't want to be known. Okay, that's fine. I'm sure it's to comment, Mr. Boachi. This one says that, "Good morning. I understand Kent's pain, but you should relax. Some NDC people suffered the same. Where was he? Was he crying? Was he shouting on the rooftop? Today it's him, so he has the cause to complain. Alpha, this is why I say, in agreement to what you said, it's all about principle. Don't just complain when it is against you. Even when it is favoring you, stand on the principle." Okay, this one says, "My name is Kwame from Aparaku Estate." Yes, thank you very much for joining us this morning with your message. You can keep your messages coming through on 05939329993. Ken, let's talk about. There are two issues. Okay, we'll do the calling. I said didn't get here last.
Okay.
But let's do teacher training.
Okay.
And they have opened the portal. Actually, it looks like people who are waiting to get in are.
Alpha.
So still and so because
Alpha.
it's just 7K.
Alpha.
More than like Charlie.
Alpha.
They had to close the portal. Yes.
It surprises you that won't it surprise you that the day they announce the portal for recruitment is open, the next day it was closed down.
It was more than
40,000.
Yeah.
And they are now absorbing 7,000. And the funny aspect is, even the 7,000 is part of the non-teaching staff, not teaching alone. We have teaching staff and
so like
non-teaching
staff for like 2K.
Yes. Well, that is on the discretion of hiring. Maybe yes. Teaching staff.
That exposes a huge problem. Our young people, these days,
the problem is, I sat very here on this your big platform and explained. You know, I taught for good 13 years and I moved away from teaching. I gave this freely advice, but you know, typical of NDC, they will not take it. Wherever platform I go, I push it. Imagine for me to insult or derogate any powerful person. I'll be here, and before I realize, the securities and everything will just whisk me away in a Rambo style, you know them, just like what they did to Masokofi Jume's house yesterday. Alpha, John Dramani Mahama promised teachers training. These were his words. I will give automatic posting. That was a fantastic job. That was a fantastic.
But maybe it was not to apply. To be applied
retrospectively.
Yeah, retrospectively.
Now, listen. When we completed Teacher Training College in 2006, I laid down how things were done, and then if NDC would have visited, it would have solved majority. As I'm speaking to you right
it depends on some condition, ability to pay, and whether or not we have spaces. We may have the need for teachers.
Yes.
But the question is the ability to pay. That too is another problem.
It becomes a problem when you politicize it. I can give you an example. Let me take Minta Akando. During campaign, when MPP was given a quota system, they were against it. When I went to training college in 2002, the quota system applied. Our batch, we were only 300 teacher trainees, and it's published. Akokeri Teacher Training College, as at that time, is space is for only 300. Wesco 400. This. When that is published as it was done, the student themselves knows, and people were not allowed to sell forms that huge. Forms were limited. If let's say Akokeri is taking 300 freshers, they will not sell more than 1,000 forms. Listen very carefully. Unless the people will not be objective, when you go, they can tell you the forms are finished. Even if it's applied online, they will tell you the portal is closed. It means they have exceeded their limit and they cannot sell forms again. But these days, what happened? Let me give you an example of the security service. They knew they are taking 5,000, but yet they sold forms more than 100,000. Is it not stealing? Back to what I'm saying. If they will listen, so by the time you complete, you have your district that sponsored you. And then after district sponsorship, automatically, before you go to your municipal or district, your names will be posted and it will tell you you are being posted to this school. As they are saying there are no vacancy. Yesterday I saw it. Search your front place. There are vacancies there. But it's also the onus also falls on us. Sometimes we don't want to go to the rural areas.
People don't want to go.
We will not go. Even John Dramani Mahama in his education manifesto said he will give 20% to teachers who accept rural posting. It tells you when you go to rural area. I can mention names that it will shock you. We have a place called Wenamda, Edwianiede, Mile 7, Sapon Sumim, Ahanya Odia. They are teachers. If you go to their class, there are no teachers there. So one, the ability to pay is there, but the government at that time, government currently, you see, you promise jobs. So if you don't have the finances, you can. There are some places that they are all important. Especially, I know the budget that goes to the education sector is very huge, very, very huge. You can consider some ministry and then at least shift or divert some of the funds to support all the question. We all know education is the backbone of every country. And as I'm speaking to you right now, teachers who are not being employed, there are still teachers lacking at different places. Go to such a reference place. Musa Kura. So many interiors that teachers are not even there. But the problem is the teachers, when you post them there, they will not go. Even if they accept posting 2 years, 3 years.
There will still be the genuine issue of, I said, maybe at this point the teachers are more than we require.
It's not the teachers are more than we require. It's the government inability, as you said, inability to pay the funds, financial constraint is not there. So you mean to tell me, so President Mahama being a president before and going to opposition never or did not know that if you promise and you don't know your financial strength, you can't apply. If you want to solve the problem, let's go back to the MPP era where a quotation will be given. By then, vacancies of all over the country. Didn't you hear in our days? So we have, let's say, 3,000 vacancies for teachers. We have 500 vacancies. But these days, you don't hear. If you want to curtail or shorten these kind of canker, which is befalling on us. When MPP came to power, they were backlogged there. So you even have to start employing those that NDC were not able. These were the causes. But when MPP was exiting, there wasn't nothing like backlog of teachers, backlog of nurses. There was in when MPP was leaving in 2016.
2016. You didn't leave.
When NDC left power in 2016.
That's what you are referring to.
Yes, thank you. We have to employ those people they were not in those people they were not able to employ. That causes the backlog. But when NPP exited office in 2008, 2010. Yes.
You are referring to 2008.
2008, yes. Kufuor's era.
Okay.
When MPP exited Kufuor's era, there was nothing like backlog.
Okay.
Unless Senior Collins tells me maybe my facts are not correct.
Okay.
That wasn't like that.
Wrap up for me.
So when I'm wrapping up, I'll tell them they should go back to the MPP time. Give quota to every. Now there is college of education. So give quota to every college of education. Devoid of your political statements.
So it's not, you can't admit the number you want.
You can't yet.
So you will have to be given a particular number.
Yes.
So that we more or less.
The number goes with the vacancies that are ahead of us.
So the vacancies should be communicated first.
Exactly.
So the government has a fair idea.
Yes, and the government has a fair idea of every situation, every sector. That is what Kufuor was doing.
That makes some sense. I don't know if Collins will agree. Collins, okay.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
What's your position?
He talks about quota system. Yes, quota system was there long before the MPP even came into office.
Okay.
You see, but at some point in time, the government of the day saw the need to, increase access. You understand what I'm saying? But there was something Gideon didn't talk about. The quota system. Kennedy. The quota system, went with allowances. All right.
Yeah.
And I learned.
But the allowance is still being paid.
But it's not as substantial.
When we were training college, that every month it will drop in your account.
So you see, at some point in time, I think before Kufuor exited or during Mills' era, all the colleges of education, were given university status. All right. And so the argument
and the Mills
It was
Yeah.
the Mills Muhammad.
yeah. So the argument was that all students who are in the tertiary, take loan. Why is it that we should, be giving allowances to other tertiary?
In fact, Mahama cancelled it in his first.
That is.
But now he's still paying it.
That is the point. You remember he said it that even if it would cost his presidency, and truly it cost his presidency because he cancelled it. But the argument that I'm making here is that now we are all the colleges with the traditional universities are now tertiary.
Yeah.
So there wasn't the need to, give allowance to one tertiary group and then loan
but
to
the expectation
another.
was that NDC in the second coming will have cancelled it, but it looks as if you couldn't.
No. The thing is, you see, there is backlog. Yes, it is true, because we gave access to, that quota system was removed. That made a lot of people to, enter the colleges, and so when it happened that we had the problem of the backlog that we have to clear, but the system is such that you give the access and then you look at the accompanying problems. Okay, here we are as a nation, we have this problem. Will it be prudent to go back to the quota system?
I think what is happening today may give rise to us coming to the realization that
my brother,
automatic employment is more or less becoming
let me tell
unrealistic.
You when we had the quota system, people were abusing the system. That was also another factor. Principals of colleges were, abusing the system. They were taking huge sums of money from people. So let us remove it so that it will be open. Everybody can have access. You understand what I'm saying here? We have a lot of teachers who have traveled. We have a lot of teachers who have left the teaching fraternity, like Kennedy and myself. We are no more in the teaching fraternity, right? We have left. A lot of people have left. Not because of, say they are tired or something, but you see,
lack of growth opportunities and whatever.
You understand the remuneration and everything there, my brother. You see, it's so if we want to change things, people will have to, governments will have to, manage the system such that it will be very attractive. Now people are, refusing to accept postings to rural areas. Now, if you take the nurses and midwives, those who go to the rural areas, they get steady leave with pay so easily. You get it? Other incentives are also there, or packages are there for them. I think that should be, given to the teachers as well. Because I have this lady who just called me yesterday. Please, I was able to enter the portal. I was taken to one of the mining, villages.
She has successfully been.
Yes.
She's like you.
She doesn't like the place.
So
I should do something for her. Say, hey, people are crying. They are not getting it. You have gotten it. You want it changed. Change
for
to
now,
where?
you should manage it like that.
You see, that is one of the reasons why,
let's take the precaution. Maybe you don't drink the.
Go there. Some of us, we thought in. I would say my first station was in a thicket.
Wow.
Yeah, somewhere Mankransu, far away, boy. And when it was 4 o'clock at the time, you could feel the thickness of the darkness. Yeah, yeah, and we slept on mud beds. With long mats. It wasn't easy at the time, but we managed to stay there, and now we are where we are today. So it doesn't necessarily like where you start or where you come from. So if you are posted to any place, please do just take the challenge. It will make you strong in this life, and it will even tell you that you have to do more to get out of the place as quickly as possible. So I think that the backlog has a lot of, brought a lot of problem to the country or to the government.
But
and aside the backlog that we have, we also do not have the financial space. Okay.
To accommodate a lot of teachers.
In fact, there are vacancies within the ministry, the education ministry, but you need clearance before you can employ teachers to go and work there. But if you don't have the financial muscle, how do you do it? So you have to manage and take it, gradually. That is what I'm thinking on this issue. But
okay.
For
the unpaid teachers too are there. They say they are the money.
You see the point that I was building.
But those days when you go to teacher training or nursing training, as for you, we know that guaranteed we are quick. These days,
everything has changed.
Everything,
that is why
a
friend of mine will always talk about looking at how our educational structure, our curriculum is structured, and make it in such a way that by the time somebody comes out of school, the person might have some level of employable, skills.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't solely depend on government for survival. Our entire educational structure need reforms.
Even medical education these days. When they go, they complain before they are posted. Even they are not very.
But in those back in the days, medical doctor staying home for 1 year.
It wasn't normal.
It was something that we never heard about. But today it's happening, and we should all, as a nation, do well to, expand. It's the infrastructure deficit that is also causing this problem.
Government should create an alliance with some countries.
We are doing it.
Exactly.
We are doing it.
Listen,
we are taking some nurses, some midwives.
Yeah.
You see, the problem that we had,
the numbers,
not the numbers. Those that these countries want are the most experienced hands.
You're right. So
when
an experienced person goes, he or she should be replaced by somebody.
Where is the experienced hands that you are going to get to replace?
No, but I'm saying that some people will move along the line.
The thing is,
so an experienced person behind the experienced person will go. So it will create spaces if you follow the order.
When you when you open the sluice gate like that, everybody, because of the conditions of service we have in this country, would want to go. So you cannot give out your experienced hands and then let the incoming ones experiment people's life. You understand what I'm saying?
But you can't at a go.
But government is doing that. Government is doing that.
You may have people of the same.
When we were in school, we have JICA, if you recall, JICA, Japan, Ghana Education Service, and especially started at the Akukeri Teacher Training College. They had this collaboration with Japan. We call it JICA. Students will go to Japan. Teacher training sisters will go to Japan, go and teach what they've learned, and they will come back in 3 or 6 months' time. So by the time they will be allowed to do their service here, and when they want to go back, they just go. I will be expecting government to do same.
Okay. But we are doing it. Kennedy, that is what
I'm not saying you are.
Just recently, about 400 of them.
The one under YE project.
No.
So what I'll say is, you see, we have just like when Cuba was sending their doctors here in Ghana, we can do same.
Okay.
As I'm speaking to you right now, there are some agencies that teachers, they are taking teachers to abroad, US to go and teach. I have a friend, my friends
Canada
and US, especially, and again, some special course, that special child education.
Yeah, that one, if you do that.
And not only that, when you go to Finland, when you go to New Zealand, there are teaching opportunities there.
Yeah.
So I don't see why the government of the day can't take advantage of this.
We have done that too.
48 minutes after now. Let's use the last 8 minutes to talk about Collins. I see you doing Kitia. Collins.
Yeah.
they say according to Global Info Analytics, this one is not just a thank you tour. It's a, it's like the man has taken the lead. So anybody who wants to contest the Juma soon, it's like he's doing the thing, but thanking you at the same time.
You see. So, yeah. Yesterday when Esedin Ketia came to Subin constituency. He never spoke about any flag bearership ambition. He came to thank the people. Like I said, he also came to energize the base.
You see, I'm coming. There are two things you must take care of. There is what he will say in public, engaging party supporters and everybody. There might be something he will say in private to executives. The communication could differ.
Listen,
depending on
when he came, he met branch executives, constituency executives, regional executives, and then the other members. He met all of us. He did not segregate these groups. He did not tell us that he has any presidential ambition. But let me tell you, if you want one most popular person in the NDC, if I'm not afraid, even more than the president, it's a Seydou Nketia.
I've always maintained that
yes,
he's second to JM, but you seem to
no,
second to JM. The most popular within the NDC.
I'm telling you.
He comes second to JM. To run as a president, your popularity is...
Listen, I'm telling you that the man is very popular. He doesn't need to go to a thank you tour.
For 17 years as a party functionary, of course, you'll be popular.
17 years secretary.
Yeah.
You see.
And unknown to others, a lot of things that he has done with consistency is now coming together to benefit him for any other thing he will seek for. Yeah. But they are a bit late. So if he wants to, and it's going to be a very difficult task.
And he's an experienced man. Trust me, he works very hard, not a lazy person. You look at his body index and the volume of work that this man can do. You see, it surprises you. And so he doesn't need this thank you tour to market himself. He has already marketed himself. So when the day comes and he says, I am going for the flag bearership race, I'm sure every Tom, Dick, and Harry in the NDC knows that indeed this man is well baked.
Would you support him?
Oh, why not? On any day, I will support him.
I will support him.
Pardon?
You have a vote.
Definitely.
Right? Okay. That's like one in Zubu.
No, listen. He's somebody that I admire.
Okay.
Even when I was a boy, right? You see, I watched this man and cried.
Hey.
I hadn't seen him before. But I was always hearing his name is Seydou Nketia. So I was thinking he was some tall, somebody who carries a lot of weight. And so my first time getting close to him was at Baba Yara Sports Stadium. And I said, is he like this? And he's able to speak and the whole country rolls like that. Oh, wow. And so from that day, I took a lot of inspiration from this man. So he's somebody that I have loved even far away when I wasn't close to any. So personally, he's my man. Personally, I'll follow him anywhere.
One vote is down. I'm sure other people have said the same thing. I said Julius, but it will be fine. Again. How do you make of what's happening in the NDC? Like,
we are waiting for them.
We are prepared for. Some say if you get as he's a different kind of politician.
You see,
like it's like people just there are people who just like he's.
What we are saying now is you remember the days of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. His song was the most popular song. The one Lumba composed for him. But when we went to elections, what happened? What I'm saying is, it doesn't matter the popularity
could differ from
whoever they. And there's flag bearership is going to be more dangerous than ours.
Maybe it will be cool though.
It will never be cool.
Assuming if it's a landslide victory by one. I mean,
What is going to go into these elections? It's scams. The Northern Caucus camp led by Haruna Idrisu. The OGs led by...
For all you know, maybe I see when he went to partner with Haruna.
Then
they will make their things difficult for you in the north though.
Who is going to make what difficult from us the north?
You go on.
I don't want to even go there. Because this morning
Haruna
Idrisu,
he's a powerful guy.
Are you aware his seat was being occupied by NPP? Are you aware?
But ever since he came,
it's a question. Are you aware?
Yeah,
so the transition tells you the seat is ours.
Okay.
Since
204, he snatched it in 204.
But
ever since now, the difference is so huge.
It's
huge. Out.
Don't worry.
He has dominated.
Do not worry yourself. Not worry yourself.
Okay.
We are waiting for them. Whoever they will bring, whether it's Eriko Poku, Atofo Sen, Haruna Idrisu, the Okujetua Black Quest, we don't even care. We are waiting for them. But let me also warn them, because they are trading on the dangerous path that it will come and hurt them.
Which
is the leaders, the OGs. I don't know if you have the opportunity to listen to Betimodi Idrisu, his description of Esiedun Ketia when he was commending him. If you watch the video.
Yeah. What did he say?
She was praising him. So what she said about him, that's not my job to say. It's for the NDC.
You mentioned it, so I thought it was a matter of interest.
What I'm saying is, the God of Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia is speaking, and whoever they bring, now, not the Ghanaian will not tell you Esiedu is popular. He will tell you when MPP was leaving office, how much was the price of sachet of water.
Okay.
And now, what is a sachet of water? And funny enough, their diesel currently is higher than ours when we left in office. But the funny thing is, they will bring their petrol price and they will link it with our diesel. We are just looking at them. The Ghanaian will tell him, if it's Esiedun Ketia coming, Esiedun Ketia is representing the NDC, National Democratic Congress Party, then the person will ask, you promise us 133. Where is the 24-hour economy? You promise us that when you come to power, you make sure electricity tariffs is on the low. What is currently electricity tariffs now? The person who is going to vote on the 28th will tell you, you promise us so many things that you dig a hole in our cocoa farm for us to be sprinkling on our cocoa farms. What is the status? You tell us, you take the cocoa price to 7,000. Now, what is the current price? So these things, we are, as I said yesterday in another platform, we had the power and we just threw it at them. But they've worked us and given us the power. But when you say, they will not believe it. Every politician, every political party, do you know when you lose power? You lose power 2 years into your governance. We lost power in 2022.
They have also lost power.
They lost power when we entered 2026.
Let's leave it here. Thank you very much, Ken, for coming.
Thank you, my brother.
That's the deputy youth organizer for MBP in the Manchia South, Manchia North, constituency. You heard from Colin Tiwache. He is the deputy communications officer for NDC in the Subin constituency. I was here with Janice Opukwajman. My name has been Alfa. Mark was also here. My prayers to you this morning is that you have a brighter day. I can see the sun shining. It means you have indeed a brighter day. Have a very good morning.
Yeah. John Mr. JP.